Why's your forehead all red?
Also, not good sportsmanship to build a team with backup sweepers in mind. I'm going to finish it. The 25 powerful Pokemon strategies that nobody uses because they're too casual. And I still have absolutely no idea what this title means. Because Drizzle Swift Swim, nobody uses that. Color Change Kecleon, only lamer casuals abuse that powerful strategy. But I guess that's why we're here. That's why there's a part 2. I said 1,000 likes, there's going to be a part 2. We're all just in this mess together now. And I've decided that because of the notoriousness of how terrible the gamer articles are, every time we get 1,000 likes on one of these videos, I'm just going to do another article. I was like kind of doing research. I was kind of seeing like how bad it gets. I think this is going to be the next one. So hit 1,000 likes and we're going to keep this series going because it looks like you guys love it. This is actually like one of my pastimes that I forgot about because before I started YouTube, I would just read terrible Pokemon articles and go, that's wrong. I've been playing Pokemon my whole life and that's just wrong. And that's really what this article is about. But I mean, 15 already hurts me. A legendary team in multiplayer. I still don't know what's happening. Like, is it because the strategy is casual so nobody uses it? Or is it the person that's casual so they don't abuse a good strategy? Or, I don't know. It seems like this person just is mad that he is the only person that plays Pokemon this way and he just sees other people being casual. I don't know. The only thing worse than building up a legendary team for single player, okay, is building up one for multiplayer. Unless you're directly battling against someone with a team of legendaries, and you both know that you're going to use legendaries, there's absolutely no reason to challenge someone with a full team of legendaries. It's basically a form of valid cheating. One that screams, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to do it well. It's more rewarding to earn a win through effort and skill than to be given one because you place 6 overly powerful Pokemon onto the same team. I really feel like this guy has never, like, we're talking about casual. So the opposite of casual is competitive. I don't think this guy has ever played any competitive Pokemon in his life, so how does he know what casual is? Because if you go onto the battle stadium and you're doing a competitive battle, you're not allowed to use legendaries. I mean, he puts Arceus up as an example. That's a mythical Pokemon. Does he mean box legendaries? Does he mean all legendaries? Does he get mad when someone brings a legal Landorus? He calls it cheating to bring Landorus onto the battle spot? I don't know. I mean, I understand the gripe. It's not fun to go up against that. But generally, that's a casual. That's a powerful strat that casuals use, and they lose because they're casual. If they don't have any EV training in their legendary Pokemon, and they just slap out what they caught in the game, it's not going to be good. And not all legendary Pokemon are good. There's a reason why we only see a couple of them, even in GS Cup, when, like, legendaries are allowed in even official VGC. It's like, what, is he calling the people that are playing in VGC, GS Cup, legendary formats casuals because they're allowed to do so in the rules? And he gets mad at it? Like, it is lame to see, but it's not casual. And I don't understand, like, where's this powerful strategy that nobody uses coming into play here? Whatever. Oh my god, max level grinding. Leveling Pokemon bad. As Pokemon is first and foremost an RPG series, logic dictates that grinding Pokemon to their max level would naturally result in the strongest interpretation of said pocket monster. Here's the thing though, while such a philosophy isn't technically incorrect, it's more effort than it's worth, and only a casual player would fall into the trap of grinding their team to level 100. When it comes down to it, 50 is good enough. Why 50? Because online matches scale your team's level down to 50. Unless you need a certain move that's learned past level 50, there's no reason to power level your Pokemon. It's only a waste of time. It's only a waste of resources. You're better off improving your team in other areas. Okay. I think I figured it out. Wait, I need to double check. I don't think I've seen a pic. I was about to say, I don't think I've seen a picture of, like, any modern Pokemon. This article was written in, like, 2010. And he's just copy-pasting it. But we have Megas. So maybe 2013. But this doesn't even... Well, actually, yeah, this does apply to 2013. So this article was written pre-Generation 7. And he decided to release it in 2019. Or maybe re-release it in 2019 for that sweet money. Because... all of this is wrong. You know, what does it say? You know, unless there's a move learned post level 50, This is before Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. So if we go back to Generation 7, there's the move Pre-Learner. The move Relearner just has free access to all the Pokemon's moves. The reason why you get to level 100 is if it's a legendary Pokemon, you need to hyper train it, or just hyper training in general, or also getting, and also, like, is this single player or multiplayer? Because now he starts talking about multiplayer and single player strategies, even though it was like all multiplayer before then. Am I allowed to accuracy abuse against NPCs, or is it only unfair against humans? I don't know. Where am I casual? Please help me. Max level grinding. Yeah, you want that level 100 Aegislash. That way you can do the Blissey farming. GG easy. You know, the SOS strategies are, you know, grinding for money in the Elite Four and stuff. There's nothing wrong with max level grinding, especially now in Pokemon Sword and Shield, where it's easier to grind to level 100, and hyper training is more accessible than ever, and it actually is like a valid strategy now. It's only a waste of time. It's only a waste of resources. It's not. I mean, breeding is more efficient in some situations, but sometimes you just don't want to breed. If you have several dozen extra large candies, or if you just have like a lot of candies from doing raids because you're just naturally playing the game, and you put a Pokemon to level 100, or even if doing like SOS battling, you're just grinding up a whole team at a time. There's a value proposition there, and sometimes it's better. And yeah, just because they scale down to level 50 doesn't mean other things. Like, you're better off improving your team in other areas. I guess going for, like, spending the 100+ hours to get 6 IV Ditto, that way you can breed your team instead of getting to level 100. But yeah, so it's like, what's the problem here? To get hundreds, you end up with them because you just have a well-rounded team to then power through the other single-player parts of the game. Level less posts, none. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. Individual EV training. Ow, my head actually hurts. I'm already lightheaded. I've only done 2 this time. Okay. Number 13, individual EV training. EV training is one of the most important tools at a trainer's disposal, if not the most important. I think it's like tied with IVs, especially like speed IVs on sweeper Pokemon. Like, they're both necessary and an absolute need to have competitive Pokemon. But sure, he's trying to like play up EV training for the sake of the article. I'll give it to him. Failing to EV train a Pokemon for competitive play is the fastest way of ensuring a guaranteed loss. Correct. In general, EV training is done by battling specific Pokemon who carry a specific effort value, but later games actually added an alternative way of EV training. Your time will always be better spent elsewhere. There's that bold statement where he's just like, bold, brilliant moment here. Instead of battling Pokemon, trainers gain the ability to play certain mini-games in order to individually raise EVs without needing to battle. Unfortunately, as helpful as this process is on a conceptual level, it pales in comparison to actually battling. Did he just say something correct? Because, like, the most casual thing are the people that think super training was better than, like, other EV training methods. Fans play Pokemon for the gameplay, and EV training is a part of that. Minigames are nothing more than a distraction. Holy crap, he got something right. I don't know if that's more shocking or not, but I guess a broken clock is literally right twice a day. Like, if we got 25 here, chances are he can get 2 of them right. Yeah, like, I guess he's talking about... He should have said super trending. He's being kind of ambiguous about it, because the only other thing is Pokepelago. But Pokepelago is actually good for EV training, because that's like if you just AFK EVs like that, it's really solid. Same thing for Pokejobs. There's, like, time skipping that does affect both Pokejobs and Pokepelago. Pokejobs were Generation 8 before the article came... Or, yeah, this was before, like... The article came out before that, so that's a thing. It's like... It's kind of like hit and miss. But yeah, like, super training is just garbage. And it's still really hard to see what he's getting at. Like, he just need to make a better title and then not use the negatives and then keep all of this consistent. Because again, it's like accuracy abuse. Is that the powerful Pokemon strategy he's using because it's too casual, or they're too casual, or don't bringing starter Pokemon endless switching is for casuals? Like, there's zero consistency, and it makes the article like not make any sense. But I guess if you just, like, you know, if you just roll the dice and you shuffle up a deck of cards, eventually you'll just get something that makes sense. So this is actually correct. And that worries me. I'm scared. Full team of the same Pokemon? Pathetic. And this is what I mean. It's like, what statement are you making with the title here? Although gym leaders and Elite Four members get away with it all the time, competitive players strongly frown upon using more than one of the same Pokemon on the same team. That's because Species Clause is official. After all, what happens if someone just stocks a team with 6 of the strongest Pokemon in the game? A nightmare. That's what happens, and while Smogon bans it, Game Freak does not. There's literally no words to follow that statement. This guy's never played competitive Pokemon, and he's out there calling people casuals. He loses to a color change Kecleon and calls people casuals. Like, yeah, I mean, you could also do like an anything goes battle in Smogon, which isn't banned, and you could just do whatever you want. Again, I don't know. Like, early on, it seems like he's frowning upon Smogon, but then he's praising Smogon as the article develops because there's no consistency. There's no frame of reference in this entire article. And I don't know what that means. Don't be like Lance in Gen 2. Why not? If I want to have fun with multiple Pokemon, the game doesn't forbid it. Why can't I? And it's entirely possible to find yourself in a battle with a trainer using a full party of the same Pokemon. Even if their Pokemon isn't all that strong, there's a problem. Your team won't be built to take on the same Pokemon over and over again. It just isn't a viable strategy. What, the viable strategy of building my team to be able to take on the same Pokemon over and over again? I mean, if you have like one sweeper that one-shots the Pokemon once, you can do it 6 more times. Not hard. Monomon team is powerful. What? A Monomon team is powerful because... Okay, so let's go back to the list. This dude has gotten wrecked by a Slacking. This dude has gotten wrecked by a non-Protean Kecleon. This dude has gotten wrecked by a Garchomp, Swift Swim Drizzle, and a full team of Bidoof. I'm not going to fault him if he got wrecked by an Arceus, because he just has... It's clear he has no idea what he's doing, but still. It's... Using items is for single player. Oh, okay. Even though Pokemon allows players to use items during battle as long as they're playing single player, that doesn't mean it's a bad crutch. So it's not bad, but it's bad, and it's casual. Since legitimate battles, including ones in the post-game, disallow items, then it's important that players recognize the casualness of relying on potions to hear mid-fight or buff via the items. All right, there's also been like 5 typos in this. To heal, the L key and the R key aren't even on the same place in the keyboard. To heal mid-fight or buffs via the X items. If you're primarily playing Pokemon like a traditional RPG, go for it. If you're gearing up to get competitive, wean yourself off this behavior ASAP. It'll do you no good when the time comes to play for real. That is the most ignorant thing I have ever read about Pokemon. This dude has not only lost to a color change Kecleon, but he thinks he's in the position to teach others how to play the game with some of the worst advice I've ever heard. I had 0 problems going from single player or just like basic casual play into getting competitive. And if anything, now I crutch items more than ever so I can beat single player faster to get into competitive faster. I was actually like just strongly against X item abuse until like Generation 7 when content creation became my job. I was like, you know what? I just need to slap the Elite Four with underleveled Pokemon and I need to speedrun this crap so I can start making videos. But it's like, you're not going... At no point does someone get in battle with another person and go, damn, I need a Hyper Potion right now. I wish I didn't use a Hyper Potion against Lance. There's also like those weird battles back in Generation 5, right? We could actually use items, and that was kind of like its own wacky format or something. Never saw that again. Is this guy mad at that? Is this guy, once again, like he's mad that he stumbles into a no species clause battle and someone brings an Arceus and a Kecleon and he's just crying, no fair, you casual. and then he goes into one of those other, like, Wonder Launcher? Is that what it's called? His friend challenges him to a Wonder Launcher battle, and then just, like, stalls him out on revives and something while he's not... Your opponent can't use them either! And the Elite Four and gym leaders will use potions. Why can't I? This doesn't it literally has zero effect on when you play for real. Bringing a legendary. How many times is this dude going to talk about legendaries? He's talked about them like 3 times now. Legendary multiplayer. Legendary single player. Bring a legendary to the Elite Four. Need a minute. Let's do it. Okay. Building a team of legendaries to tackle a single player is bad enough. This guy just says, like, it bad. That's his, why is it bad? He just say it bad. The only thing worse than bringing legendaries in single players is bringing it to multiplayer. It's bad that you use legendaries in that, but it's not nearly as pathetic as using a recently caught legendary mascot to tackle the Elite Four. The game literally sets you up to do that. As later games have added mandatory legendary encounters, this has become quite the easy feat to pull off. So, gone are the days of skill. Skill in the Elite Four. Who is this person? Who thinks this way? Who gets everything wrong about Pokemon except for like one thing with that Eevee training? This guy had to have backed Temtem. That's like the only thing I can think about. Like, this is why I can't take any of my haters seriously. There are so many people that are just delusional out there. This dude wrote it down. It doesn't look like he proofread it because of all the typos. This dude wrote this down. I was just like, I got it. I am going to say exactly what the Pokemon community needs to hear today. In bringing Legendary to the Elite Four, you're essentially admitting to the world you don't have what it takes to beat the game. This dude loses to Color Change Kecleon. Dog's not even happy. Dog's freaking out over this one as well. This dude loses to Color Change Kecleon, Swift Swim Drizzle combo, and just sees the entire world as casuals. If you don't play on this guy's level, you are just a mere mortal in Pokemon. You're a casual that just doesn't get it. Right, Laika? The Elite Four is meant to test everything you've learned along the way with a full team of Pokemon you've nurtured. But it doesn't work if you bring a legendary you just caught to lead you to victory. I mean, I don't understand what he means about this mandatory thing as well, because you could go out of your way to get the legendary birds back in Generation 1. You could get Ho-Oh and Lugia back in Generation 1 as well and then bring them. Or even with a mandatory encounter, you can choose to not bring them and still have the same effect, but you shouldn't be penalized for wanting to bring them. Even then, like, I was against bringing legendary Pokemon, but I didn't frown upon the casuals that choose to do so just because they want to get the game over with and get on to the postgame and enjoy the game in alternative ways. And then we just have to do the title test again. Bringing a legendary to the Elite Four is a powerful Pokemon strategy no one uses because they're too casual. So the 99% of players that play the game and bring the legendary because the game doesn't frown upon or suggest that they shouldn't do it to the Elite Four means it's too powerful and casual, no one does it, and you should be frowned upon for doing it. I think I actually felt something in my head shift. Like, not pop, because that would be bad, but something disagreed with that deep down in my brain. Legendary team, single player. You just did legendary team single player after doing legendary team multiplayer after doing a legendary team single player. If you don't have 25 examples, just call it a top 20. People are still going to click on it the same. Okay, let's see what he has to say. Legendary Pokemon, without a doubt, the most sought after Pokemon in every game. False. 6 IV Ditto and Shinies. They have high base stats, consistently great designs. False. And often factor into the plot in big ways. That doesn't make them desirable. Later titles even require players to catch legend. Did he forget, like, to edit this? Did he forget to put one to the other? Did he forget what he wrote? Of course, this does result in a bit of legendary abuse. You're impressing nobody with that team of legendary dogs. I don't know, man. Like, hunting down the legendary dog is pretty cool. Like, showing that you went through that effort. That's the thing. I mean, again, where's the line on legendaries? Box legendaries have always been forbidden. Usable legendaries, it's in the name. They're usable. And there is something to them. And they're not all good. Entei isn't used that often. Suicune's a stall, and sometimes you see Raikou. Building a team full of legendaries is the fastest way to utterly ruin any and all semblance of difficulty in your adventure. Oh yeah, that's right. This is single player. But you don't get them until the game's already hard. Or like until you've already gone through the hard parts of the game. Getting legendaries is hard in single player. Doesn't matter which game, because no game in the series has actually managed to balance themselves around player using legendary. False. It certainly doesn't help that legendaries require very little upkeep, meaning that you don't have to put any effort into making them viable. False. The movesets and Lake Spirits! They don't do anything! Trading. Trading will always play a large role in Pokemon experience and absolutely should be used by any and every player, but it should not be abused. I dictate the line of when you're a casual. Specifically, trading shouldn't be used as a way of getting around training and building your own team. Sure, it's easy to trade for a fully EV-trained Pokemon with all the right stats and moves, but why do that? That Pokemon isn't truly yours. If you win with it, and then you're just getting off by someone else's effort. This is something no professional player... Full team sweep. Having good sweepers valuable asset to any team, but a team of sweepers, that would be otherworldly. Along with being ridiculously casual, a team of sweepers just has no place in competitive play. On a conceptual level, you're theoretically going to be hitting first and hitting hard to knock out the opposition, but you're just as likely to get crushed considering most sweepers aren't that all sturdy. It's also not good sportsmanship to build a team with backup sweepers in mind. Sweeping the opponent is casual, guys. Dude gets swept by a color-changed Kecleon. Unsporting. Chances are you'll lose more times than not. Not if you're good. But the matches you do end up winning will likely end with your opponent losing some serious respect. You know what else? You know what else loses respect? Every word in this article. Dear Lord, what's this? I didn't think it could get worse. I didn't think we would top a guy losing to color change Kecleon and calling it overpowered. But it is getting worse. Going to a battle is supposed to be a tense affair. You don't know what kind of part your opponent is. Your opponent is using. Your opponent has no clue what you're about to bring to the table. That element of luck, randomization, and uncertainty is part of what makes the average Pokemon battle so exciting. Luck, randomization, uncertainty. Exciting. Pokemon. Dude just threw that out in a sentence. That's why you should try as hard as you can to avoid practice matches. Every now and then, you might come across someone who just wants to test out their team against so you can... Every now and then, you might want to come across someone who just wants to test out the team against you so they can practice. This is a trick And a rather dirty one at that. Practice matches benefit nobody in the grand sense, and they only allow you to craft strategies in advance of the actual match and ruin the inherent element of surprise. It can't. It's impossible for it to get any more dumb than that. That is the stupidest thing I have heard an individual say about Pokemon. That has to be it. Like, aside from someone saying that hacking is okay as long as they have legitimate stats, never okay to cheat under any circumstance, that's it. It's a trick to do a scrim with your friend, to practice a team. It's a dirty trick that helps no one. Doesn't make you a better player by adjusting to different strategies. Doesn't make them better by getting experience with team. This dude. This dude. Like, avoid practice. This is the guaranteed way that you lose games. It's by avoiding practice. This is the guaranteed way to stay casual forever. Every now and then, you might come across someone who wants to test out their team against you so they can practice. Like, where's the I can't talk my way through this one. It's that. It's... It's like, I want to say it, but I feel like everything is said already by the time you make it to the end of this paragraph. Practicing is what made me so good at Pokemon, because it was just me and my friend. In Generation 4, we were just coming at each other with new teams all the time, and then we just built ourselves up until we were both god-tier Pokemon battlers. What does this guy expect? That you just make a team, it instantly, automatically works, and if the opponent beats you, then it's unfair because they're casual. Mass team building. This dude hates Pokemon. Oh my fuck. I can't go on. I can't go on. I can't go through this to then make it here, because I know what he's gonna say. You're dedicated to playing competitively. Gonna spend quite a bit of time building a team. Team building can range from breeding all the way to proper or even training. It's free conclusion for any professional player. Each game will bring more building opportunities. Don't go overboard though. Don't be like Ash's Fire Zone episode. Biggest mistake is buying into team building a whole lot. What? How is this mistake? Kids, fans, it's casual. He's calling them casuals by building teams. What? Although having a large roster of readily available Pokemon and fully trained Pokemon is useful, it's a bit of a waste of time. Practicing bad team bad. This dude just wants. Wait, wasn't like it casual to use your favorites? Yeah, don't using best of best bad casual strat. Most fans will advise you to follow the golden rule. Don't use pop. I don't know what this guy wants. So apparently here, this is how this guy wants Pokemon. This guy wants Pokemon to where he takes his 6 favorite, he poorly trains them, and he puts them on a team, and he wants to win every single Pokemon battle without practicing, without changing, without seeing any legendaries, without seeing any overused Pokemon, without seeing Kecleon, without seeing Drizzle Swift Swim, without seeing Kecleon, and just expect that that's how it is. You shouldn't mass team build. You should train the Pokemon you know you want to use and go from there. Sinking time into Pokemon you may never use, prevent yourself from familiarizing yourself with a team you would use. It doesn't work that way. You fail and then you build another one, or you just get a lot of really cool ideas and you want to see which ones work. Cool ideas. Does this guy want diversity or not? I don't know. He doesn't want everyone bringing centralizing metagame Smogon OU Pokemon. He also doesn't want you to make extra Pokemon. Leftovers is one of the most popular items in the series. It allows you to heal every turn, can pay off big. You shouldn't be sneaking, or you shouldn't be snacking Big Max. Escape. Guys, these people exist. You're in the checkout line at the grocery store. Dude, ring up your groceries. This could be what they believe. Dude behind you, this could be what they believe. The dude next to you, when you're stopped at a red light, this could be what they believe. If you put leftovers on Chansey, I'm pretty sure that's spelled wrong. Isn't Chansey with an S? Not Eviolite. Put leftovers on Chansey. Not Blissey. Chansey. You're basically guaranteed to survive for as long as you want, as long as you play smart. You shouldn't be snacking mid-match. Problem with using leftovers, it's cheap. 1/16 of your health, cheap. Dragging out fights for longer than you need to, simply because of a held item. Strategy's cheap, guys. It's not a measure of skill. Using tank put. You're not allowed to bring a full team of sweepers. You're not allowed to bring leftovers. You're not allowed to bring Kecleon. Fairly easy to find. They don't require any meaningful play to obtain. They certainly have a place in competitive play, but on every Pokemon, that's just too much. Not my fault it's viable. Oh god, it's Baton Pass. And once again, do you agree with Smogon? Do you disagree with Smogon? I don't even know. What makes Baton Pass so powerful is that it can quite easily abuse all things. It's quite easy to abuse all things considered. It's not. You have a lot of opportunities to counter set up as they set up, or just break the chain and win. Baton Pass is basically a glorified swap out, but actually transfers buffs to whichever Pokemon is taking the user's slot. You mean what Baton Pass does? The description of Baton Pass. The reason why Baton Pass is a separate move and not every manual switch transferring stats. It's a niche, it's a strategy, it's not overused or abused at all, and it's just, it's its own thing, and it's what Pokemon's about. Naturally, this means you can train certain Pokemon specifically meant to spend a few turns buffing themselves only to use Baton Pass. Buffing the Pokemon that actually needs it. Requires no skill or forethought. False. The only necessity is Pokemon that can buff themselves and take a few hits. You don't even need to EV train. This dude, he's like, slacking is good because you EV train its health. EV training is necessary or else you lose. You don't even need to EV train them. So, I figured it out. Dude gets swept by a Kecleon. Pissed. The same kid that beat him up in middle school in that Pokemon battle, comes and says, hey, I want to try out a new team. Uses a Baton Pass team. Doesn't even know how to EV train. Beats him again. Livid that he lost to a Kecleon and an un-EV train, or un-EV trained team. Wow, this article gave me dyslexia. I think that's what happened here. So he does that. He realizes all, and everything's wrong. Everything that has ever happened to this person is wrong in Pokemon. Not his problem. Everyone else's. Soloing with your starter. Once again, maining your starters is a bad idea. Why? I don't know. Don't use not casual 25 power Pokemon. Just as easy it is to effectively main your starter, it's also easy to solo most single-player campaigns with only your starter. So it's easy to solo the game with any Pokemon. Just over-level it. Use X items. You win. It's not the starter. You can get... Look at speedruns! Speedruns take like Nidoking, and in Pokemon Sword and Shield, you get an Excadrill and Arcanine in the wild area. It's a workable strategy, but not exactly the smartest thing to do. Short-term success leads... Once again, this is like... This is going to be in my book. This is going to be a bold quote from my memoir. This is my moment of brilliance. It's going to make people think, this guy gets it. Short-term success leads to long-term problems. Every time you see something bold, just know your brain is going to rot away a little more. By the time you reach post-game, you'll find that your starter most definitely will not be able to handle all the extra content on their own. No Pokemon! No team will be able to do that. To get to, like, the Battle Tower, or the Battle Maison, or the Battle Tree, or whatever, you're gonna have to start EV training. Like, you have to get through the early levels, get the power items, EV train, make it a little further, get breeding items, make it a little further, and then you're competitive by that point. Post-Elite 4 material almost always demands a full party. Nah. You can still roll any Post-Elite 4 with a level 100 Pokemon, especially in regards to Battle Frontier. Going back to some of the other things we've seen, like going back to Legendaries being mandatory, I think this dude might actually be a prophet. He's writing this article in I feel like this is even before Generation 5. Dude's writing the article in like 2009. Predicts Mega Evolutions. Predicts some of the Legendaries. Smogon. I don't know. It's a beginner trap that ends with players being forced to grind just to make something out of the post game. Then resetting to avoid a blackout. Resetting to avoid a blackout is a powerful Pokemon strategy no one uses because they're casual. Can't win all in one go? Perhaps you don't deserve to win it all. Save scumming. Casual thing. Results.